Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of Raising Healthy Mothers. So here's something that I remember from when my daughter, my youngest, still napped. She would fall asleep in the pram and I'd often just put her at the bottom of the stairs, fast asleep. And I thought, great, I've got at least 40 minutes to do something. I have that quiet moment that I've been waiting for all day. And she's finally at that age where I can just leave her. She's not going to wake up if I leave her. And I'd be like, right, I'm going to go and do something for me. And then I'd be like, well, what should I do? Should I have a cup of tea? Should I read my book? Should I do some yoga? Should I do a workout? Should I actually, do you know what? I actually really need to tidy the house. It's that cleaning that I never got around to doing. Oh, yeah, I've got some clothes in the washing machine that need hanging up. And I'd be like, all of these things. And I'd be like, right, do you know what? I'm actually just going to just have a quick look at my WhatsApp messages and catch up. And before I know it, 20 minutes are over and I have done absolutely nothing because I've got sucked into the scroll. And you get to that point when you're like, all I wanted all day is to have a little bit of time to myself. And I've completely wasted it because my mind just won't stop. You've just got all of these things on your mind. And I was always thinking, why am I not using this better? Why am I not prioritizing what I really, really want, which is just a little bit of quiet and time to myself to do something? And I did get it. And it just didn't work. And it is really interesting, isn't it? Because I knew that I needed to relax. I knew I needed some downtime. I knew that I needed to just take some time out to myself. And I just thought, oh, maybe I'm just bad at relaxing. There's so much going on. And I think in hindsight, I realize now it's because my system just didn't know how to switch off anymore. It didn't feel safe enough to switch off. I'm constantly scanning for what's next. My body is constantly on this on mode. Having been in charge of everyone else's emotional regulation all day, when I was finally alone, my system just didn't know how to stop, how to calm down, how to relax. Look, if that's how you're feeling, I know you're not broken. It's your nervous system actually working really well in an unsustainable world. Okay? Most people think being tired is about doing too much. But what's often missed is what you're holding inside. The monitoring, the anticipating, the fact that you're the one who knows what's running out in the fridge, what needs restocking, who's keeping track of the fussy eater phases and what they will and won't eat, who reads the tone and the atmosphere of the house and adjusts her behavior accordingly, only for it to be ruined by someone else who doesn't quite have their finger on the pulse in the same way that you do. It's not the energy that you're spending, it's not the actual physical work that you're doing, but it's the presence. It's the mental weight, the invisible labor that you're not even counting, let alone anyone else. And if you've been doing that on repeat day after day, no wonder rest feels hard. Even when you do manage to remember to sit down with a cup of tea and a book and a meditation or whatever it is, it doesn't quite land the way you want it to. And I know you're probably already doing stuff. Maybe you've tried magnesium. Maybe you've tried that supplement. Maybe you've tried an evening routine. Maybe you've tried going to bed earlier, eating better, breathing deeper. But if that thing that you're doing isn't sticking, maybe you try it for 3 days and you forget about it and you go, I'll do it again tomorrow or start again on Monday because it's a new week. It's not because you didn't try hard enough. It's because your system didn't register it as real support. And that is confusing your body. It doesn't know how to rest. And it hurts. It's almost a form of grief. It's hard to really get a handle on it. The grief of doing everything you can and still feeling like it's not enough and that no one knows this is how it feels. And adding to this, you're probably in your late 30s or even into your 40s. Maybe you're thinking, I am perimenopausal. My hormones are shifting. And yes, you're at that age where your hormones are shifting. Your tolerance is lower. Your buffer is thinner. And what used to help doesn't help in the same way. What used to feel like enough doesn't feel like enough anymore. And do you know what? This is not a mindset issue. This is a resourcing issue. You don't need to force rest. You need to be better resourced. Something, even just one thing that feeds you back. It might be food. It might be a different rhythm. It might be someone else doing something for you, taking something off your plate. Because true rest doesn't come from finally clearing that list. We all know that no matter where you are on your list, you're never going to get to the bottom of it because there's always more stuff. It comes from your body knowing, I'm not holding this alone anymore. So here's what I want you to try this week. Give your nervous system a pattern to trust. Create one small ritual at some point in the day that happens roughly at the same time every day that tells your body you're safe to exhale now. And when you start having a rhythm and a ritual that is predictable, then your body gets that message that, this is what it feels like. This is a non-negotiable. Maybe it is coming in from the school run, and instead of washing up from breakfast, having a hot drink that you drink all the way to the end without doing something else, without scrolling on your phone or writing out the list of things that you've got to do for the rest of the day or doing anything. Stare out the window. Do nothing. It could be lighting a candle before dinner. It's starting your rhythm of, let's start dinner with lighting a candle. That small action of going, this is something calm and peaceful. Now, look, you need to keep it simple. It's something that is so easy to do that you can do it without thinking about it. It's the predictability of it that creates the calm, not the actual act. It's the symbolism of it that is going to give your body the message that it needs. And then the second thing that I think can really help make rest happen is to stop pushing your children away when they really want to help. Now, look, I know it's really hard to get your children to get involved without them making a complete mess of it. Like, you want to hang up the washing and they scrunch it up and put it on the line, or they start throwing the clothes around. That's not what you need. But if you keep pushing them away when they try and help, are you raising children that are being told, you know what, household chores are not for you, they're not for kids, you go off and play and us adults will deal with them? Or if you invite them in, and no matter what their ability is right now, if you invite them in, and so what if they scrunch up the clothes and put them on the line like that? You can fix that later. But if you're inviting them in and letting them know you are a part of this house and we do our chores together, are you showing them that they have a responsibility in this family? Are you then raising children that in 5 years' time can hang up the washing on their own because they've been shown how to, it's been role modeled, and they're not suddenly being told, oh, you're 10 years old now, you should be able to do your own washing, go and do it. If they've never done it before, if they've never been shown how, you now have to spend the next 6 months showing them how. Or if they're 4 years old and you're just letting them be involved, however that looks, in a year's time, they will just come and do it with you without any prompting. Okay, and then the next thing that I really think can help this week is ask, what will make me feel more supported this week? Is it knowing that dinner is sorted? Is it one less decision to make? Is it not having to think of another healthy snack for your children that doesn't involve baking all weekend, but also doesn't involve crisps and chocolate and biscuits? Then give yourself that. Or do you know what? I can give it to you. If you want my full meal planning system, I show you how to meal plan in your season of life, making sure that you are taking everyone's needs and preferences and obligations and responsibilities into account. If you've got Taekwondo on Monday, don't start planning an elaborate meal that's going to take an hour to cook. That's the night when you need to have beans on toast. So, in Dinner on the Table, I show you how to look at your family calendar and then make sure that you are planning meals that fit into that. And then I show you how to make sure that your kitchen is stocked in such a way that you can cook meals even if you haven't actually planned it. But then I don't stop there. I also show you what are the recipes that you can make using leftovers in interesting and fun ways that are not just work for you, but also work for your fussy eaters. And then I also give you some meal plans to get you started that start on the principle of using spice mixes and sauces that you can pre-prepare. So you can make once in a bigger batch and then keep it for another time. And that way you can build meals for the whole week without having to reinvent new meals every single time. That's the magic of having a dinner planning system to hand so that you know exactly what you need to do every single week. And do you know what? If that all sounds too exhausting, too tiring, too much like you actually have to think, then I do also have a meal planning subscription. That's the weekly table, and that's where every Friday I send you 5 dinner ideas that week using that same planning system that I talked about in the Dinner on the Table. I just do it for you so you don't have to think. Look, whichever of those options sound the best for you in your season of life right now, they're there for you. If you head over to the show notes, you can find the links that you need there. Or you can head over to tatchadacruz.com/everything, and that is where you can find everything that I offer, including Dinner on the Table guide and the weekly table meal planning subscription. Look, whatever you do, whatever you plan to do when it comes to rest time, I hope it's something that is truly nourishing for you, even if it is just for 2 minutes. I'll see you next week for the last episode of Raising Healthy Mothers in this season and the last episode for 2025. See you then. Bye for now.